cash that's got you feeling spent. The day to day is like a whirlwind.
Good morning, men. I'm gonna tee this up hopefully properly that today's video is not me offering you guys advice, because I'm in the middle of figuring this out for myself. And so it's more along the lines of, I'm just gonna vocalize my thought process. One, because I hope it helps you guys. That's obviously my primary goal. But then two, I'm the kind of person that I figure things out a lot more as I dialogue, or as I even just kind of get my thoughts out somewhere. And so this is an opportunity for me to do that, because this is a concept that I've had in my brain for a few months, quite a few months. I've probably even alluded to it in past videos or past posts, but I still just haven't fully fleshed it out yet or figured it out. I want to talk to you about dressing consistently well, because it's really easy for most men to, once they get good at dressing well in their primary environment, to just kind of cut it off there. For example, I'm in suits 6 days a week. I'm in suits all the time. It's the industry that I'm in, it's the world that I'm involved with, and so when I am wearing a suit, I feel like my game is where it should be. Yeah, there are plenty of men, especially men in the industry, who are significantly better at this than I am, but I'm in that same arena with them, and I feel like I've got my suit style down pretty well. That's not the case when it comes to my secondary environment, which is my casual stuff, like what I'm wearing on a Saturday, or if it's a weekend and I'm going out on a date. And certainly not the case when it comes to tertiary environments, like, for example, that video that I did about what to wear when I went camping, or what I wear to the gym. It's funny because it's so obvious how apparent this is once you determine what your primary environment is. One of my really good friends was a gym rat. Shouldn't say was. One of my really good friends is a gym rat. And that is his primary environment. That's the primary aspect of his identity. And so it's really easy for him to look good at the gym. He's really consistent with what he wears. It matches what his expertise is, what his own sub-tribe is within the fitness community. That stuff works out for him really well. His casual game, as far as stuff that he wears outside of the gym, not so much. And you've seen this before. It's the bros who, they're always wearing gym clothes, and it's because that's comfortable for them. That's their primary environment. His stuff that he would wear to church when we go to church together every week, the same thing. It was just not as good. It wasn't as consistent at communicating who he was as what he was wearing at the gym. So it's something that it's pretty easy to recognize in yourself and in everybody else. And I'm not saying that, this is like a deliberate or a conscious thought process where, oh, well, I'm really good at dressing this way, but I'm not so good. It's a subconscious thing. And part of it is recognizing who your primary tribe is and then being able to communicate that stuff consistently, irrespective of the environment that you're in. But part of it too is just being willing to invest a little bit more time and a little bit more effort into developing a good, consistent style in those environments in which you don't spend as much time. So I'm in the middle of figuring this out for myself. My casual style, I would like it to be better, but I don't know what better means. Do I dress like Curtis and Derek, guys that I work with, who I feel like their refined casual style is absolutely on point? Do I dress more in like the athleisure, the rakish stuff? Because in a way, I kind of am starting to identify more with just the general gym and fitness culture, and it's certainly easier to dad and do dad stuff in this than it is in this other stuff. Do I do something that's totally different? Do I try to blend the two? I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. And I certainly don't know what the answer to that is when it comes to a tertiary environment like what I wear to the gym, because I'm not part of any tribe at the gym. I'm not a power lifter, I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not a CrossFitter, I'm not a triathlete or an endurance athlete, I'm not a fighter. I've played around with all of those things and I've enjoyed aspects of every single one of them, but I don't primarily identify within one tribe. And even if I did, my skill set and my expertise within the gym doesn't allow for me to demonstrate a level of mastery by my clothing within those tribes. If I were to show up to the gym dressed like a power lifter and then you were to see the numbers that I'd put off, the first thing you would think is poser. And the same thing unfortunately happens if I were to go dressed as a CrossFitter or a fighter or anything else, because I'm just not good enough yet at any of those things, yet being the key word, that I can communicate with my clothing that I'm part of the tribe and that I've got a level of mastery that is sufficient. I don't even know which one of those I want to focus on. For the last few months, it's definitely been fighting, but I'm not a fighter. There's a big difference between taking a few boxing classes and being somebody like McGregor or Diaz. I'm not there. And so I can't dress like I am part of that tribe, again, yet. I don't know. And again, I'm not saying that this needs to be a deliberate or a conscious thought process for you, because I know that I'm weird about this stuff. I know that it's my job and it's my opportunity within the channel and within, working with you guys for me to think about this way more and way deeper than you do. But I want you to recognize it when it comes up subconsciously, because if you can, and then you get a little bit more deliberate with it, then you could start to figure it out. Now, the only other thing that I want to add to this as part of this thought process is there's nothing wrong with not knowing where you want to be. I know where I want to be with suits. I've got it figured out, and so my improvements are deliberate. I am doubling down on what I know. There's a little bit of experimentation, but for the most part, it's just doubling down. In secondary and tertiary environments, I don't know, and so it's not a deliberate approach, it's a developing approach. I'm making mistakes, I'm learning things, I'm experimenting, and I'm trying stuff out as I go. You saw how bad my workout gear was in the last video that I put up. Yeah, okay, that was a miss. Big deal, we'll move on. We'll do something better next time. But be willing to take a deliberate approach until you know where you want to be, you know what you want to be doing, and then double down, do the whole deliberate thing after that. Because that's the way to actually get this stuff figured out. So, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you guys feel like you don't have this problem, if you feel like you really do have your style down in your secondary and your tertiary environments. If you feel like it took some experimentation, are you nervous to experiment and you're more content to just always wear your gym clothes because you're comfortable that way and you know that that's going to communicate who you are? I just want to know where you guys sit with this. So leave me a comment below. As always, leave me a thumbs up. That really does help the channel grow. You guys have been super good about it in the past and I love it. And I will catch you next time.